Welcome, welcome my lovely friends. I'm so happy to have you guys back at my channel. I am CREME for those of you that are new, and for those of you that don't know, my birthday recently passed March 2nd. I'm a Pisces, whoop whoop. I wanted to show you guys the look that I did for my celebration festivities. I wanted to keep everything on the face pretty soft and then just kind of have a big beautiful bold eye. So I definitely had to go for glitter, especially since the new STILA glitters came out. Obsessed with these guys, seriously, they're beautiful. So I do have two colors here, let me show you. I have the Molten Midnight and the Diamond Dust. I also hear the Kitten, I think it's called Kitten, I'm not sure, something kitten. It's like a beautiful champagne color, but I also, Kitten K maybe. I wanted to get that one as well. But yeah guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I definitely went all out for this one. I feel so sexy and I definitely had a lot of fun creating this look for you guys. So I just wanted to say before we even get started, I wanted to apologize. It is a windy, dreary, cold day here where I live, and we have older windows, so there's going to be a lot of rattling in the background. I'm sure if you've seen my past videos, that's been a previous problem. It's something that I am working on, but I did want to apologize to you guys about that. I hope you enjoyed the video regardless. So yeah guys, if you want to see this look, go ahead and keep watching. So we are going to start off with the priming. Obviously I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Benefits Professional, and I'm going to take that in the areas of my face where I have larger pores. So just take a little bit in my fingers here, and then we'll just dab it here. Okie doke. And we're actually going to prime pretty heavily today because I want my makeup to last all night, but I also want it to look nice and fresh and dewy. So next we are going to go in with my Bobbi Brown, I actually forget what this is called. Oh, the Vitamin Enriched Face Base. So I'm going to take some of that and apply that to the entire face. Okay, and then for my third and final priming step here, I'm going to take my L'Oreal Magic Lumi here. I'm going to do not even a full pump, and I'm going to take that and apply it to the highest points of my face, anywhere where I highlight basically. So before I actually do my foundation, I'm going to do a little bit of color correcting, and I'm going to use the LA Girl Concealer in the orange color here. I have a lot of darkness around my mouth, underneath my eyes, and around the outer corners of my nose, so I definitely need to color correct or else you can see that through the foundation. So just apply in the areas where I need it. Okay, as you can see, I evenly distribute it in all the places where I need it. Now I'm going in with a moist beauty blender and I'm just going to blend that out. Okay, so we're going to jump right into foundation. I'm going to use two of my favorites and mix them together. I'm going to use the Infallible Pro Matte in the color 109. And then I'm going to use the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk here. And this is the number 9. So I'm going to take that. And the reason why I mix is because sometimes I feel like the L'Oreal can be a little bit too matte. So I like the luminous finish of the Giorgio. So I definitely mix them to kind of get the satin finish that I like to my skin. And to apply that to my face, I'm going to go in with a number 8 Aveda brush here. It's just like a foundation brush. Going to mix that into my little dish here, and I'm mixing it in a little dish, and I'm going to apply that to my face, and then we'll just blend that with the beauty blender. Can you see how beautiful that finish is? Ah, I love mixing the two of these together, seriously. Okay, so here is the base done. As you can see, my skin does look amazing. Nice and fully covered without being too matte or too glowy. So I definitely love mixing when it comes to my foundations. Next we will go in with concealer, and I'm using my fave, the LA Girl in the color Pure Beige. Yep, Pure Beige. And it's the Pro Conceal. And I will apply that to the areas where I want to conceal. Okay, so that is concealer applied. Before I actually go ahead and blend that out with my beauty blender, I'm going to be using a little bit of the Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray, and I'm going to spritz my face. And that is just going to really help everything mesh and blend and look really seamless and flawless. So we will go ahead and blend. And since today is my birthday makeup that we are doing, I really want a beautiful bright under eye. I want my skin to look nice and flawless. So we are definitely kicking on the makeup. Okay, so that is the concealer mostly blended out. I'm going to go in with the butt of my beauty blender now, and I'm just going to further blend the edges. Okay, so that is concealer nice and blended. I'm going to go in next with my RCMA No Color Powder. apply that to a palette, and then I'm going in with the same beauty blender and I'm going to set that. So you definitely want to make sure everything is nice and blended and that there is no creasing. So I always like to quickly blend here before I apply the powder. And I really like to stamp that into place. And I'm going pretty heavy with the powder because we're doing really dark eyes today. And we'll do a little bit of my chin, a little bit on my forehead here, and then take it down the nose. Okay guys, so I have my powder on. I'm going to go in next and actually do my brows, and I will be right back. Okay, so my brows are done. This is what I went for today. I wanted something really sharp and angled, really bold. So that is the brow that we're working with. So we could definitely go on and move on to the eyes. So I will zoom you guys in so you can see a better picture. I am going to go off camera and do one eye, and then it'll make it a lot easier for me to finish the second eye. So yeah guys. Okay guys, so as you can see, this is the finished eye. I really wanted to do something warm but with glitter. What I really love about this makeup is that it really makes my eyes stand out. I have brown eyes and it just makes them seriously pop. I don't know if you can really see that on camera, but yeah, so I will show you guys what I did on this eye. And I wanted to keep everything easy while I was applying so I could get really quickly. So the palette that I'm going to be using today is the 350 palette, and if you've seen my past videos, you already know that my palette looks like shit, literally. So we are going to go in with this first color here. So that color. And I am taking a Morphe E23 brush, just a fluffy blending brush, and I am going to take that color and apply it to my crease. Next, I'm going to take this really beautiful warm brown color here, and I'm going to mix in a bit of this deep orange color, and I'm going to further blend that into my crease. And to actually blend that color, I'm using a Morphe E22 brush, and then I'm just going to go in back and forth between the two brushes just to make sure everything is nice and seamlessly blended. Next, I'm going in with the deepest brown in the palette. It's like a cool tone brown. You can use any cool tone brown that you'd like, and I am going to start building the intensity of the darker color here, and to blend that I'm just using a blending brush like this. Next, I'm going in with a flat brush like this. I'm going to use this to really pack on the black color, and it is a Coastal Scents brush in the number BRCS20. And the black that I'm going to be using today is the black color Corrupt from Makeup Geek, and the reason why I'm using this, it's because it's literally the blackest black I've ever used in my life. And we're keeping this mostly on the mobile lid because we don't want to take it up too far so that we have room to blend. And to blend that out, I'm using a Real Techniques base shadow brush. It just looks like this. And I will use that to blend out the black. And then just switch back and forth between brushes to make sure the blending is nice. So that is the eyeshadow basically done on the top. We are going to move into a little bit of highlight. And for the highlights today, I'm going to use the Champagne Pop from Becca and the Pearl. So I'm going to first go in with the Champagne Pop and just pop it right in the highest point and then blend that out. And then take that Champagne Pop also and just pop it right in the inner corner here. Okay, then we will take that Pearl and apply that just to the highest point of my brow here. So next I actually went in and did my liner. So for the liner today I'm using the Too Faced eyeliner. And I am going to do a pretty thick line just because it's not really going to show too much. I really don't want any skin tone gaps kind of sticking through, and then we will go ahead and do the wing. Okay, that is my eyeliner done. Next we will do the eyeliner on the waterline, and for that I use the ColourPop gel liner in the color Swerve. Okay, next we will start taking the eyeshadows down, and I'm going to dip back into my Morphe palette. We're going to go into that reddish brown color again, and I'm going to use a mica brush here, just an angled fluffy brush. And I will go ahead and apply that. And then if you guys have seen my videos, you know I like to take my eyeshadows down quite low and quite wide. And then I'll take that orange color next and kind of do that on the perimeters here. And then we will go in into that medium dark brown, the darkest brown in the palette. And I'm going to use a Vera Mona brush for that. And it just is a smaller brush like this. And I'm not going to take this medium brown down as far as I did with that red tone. Next, I'm going with an angled brush like this. And this is a Aveda brush in the number 7. And it's double-ended in case you were interested in getting it. And I'm going to dip back into that Corrupt Black by Makeup Geek and apply that really close to the lash line here. Okay, and then I'm actually going to take a fluffy brush like this and I'm going to swipe off this bake, and that's going to leave me with a beautifully clean under eye. Next, we're going to go in with the glitter, and for the glitter I'm using the new STILA glitters, and this is in the color Molten Midnight. It's a beautiful silver gold glitter with a black base. So it's going to go perfect over this eye. So we're going to go ahead and apply that. And you want to be very careful where you apply this. You kind of want to avoid the eyeliner that you applied. But if you get some on there, that's perfectly fine. We're going to go back in and fix that anyways. And I am keeping this pretty much on the mobile lid. And then I'm going to dot in some more glitter right in the crease, just so it kind of blends. Okay, so there is that beautiful glitter applied. I actually went in on this eye and I applied some of the glitter in the color Diamond Dust. Over a beautiful multicolored glitter with a silver base, and I just patted that in right in the center. It really doesn't make a difference, but since I did it on the other eye, I just want to make sure everything's cohesive. So then, after this, I went ahead and I touched up the liner. I added some mascara and falsies. And I think I'm going to do that off camera, and when I'm finished with that, I'll be back and we can finish the rest of the face. Okay, my lovelies, so this is the finished eye look here. It's really dark, really sexy, and that's what I was definitely going for. I really wanted to go all out and just have fun. I usually don't do glitter, but this is absolutely stunning. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my face. If you couldn't already tell, I did contour my nose, and I used my favorite contour color, which is the Uninterrupted by MAC. So I'm going to go ahead and actually finish contouring the rest of my face. I'm going to use a Real Techniques contour brush for that. Just looks like this. And let's just go in. You know, so that's one side of my face contoured. Then I'm going to go in with a little bit of the RCMA powder on the Beauty Blender, and I'm going to clean up that contour line. Okay, so that is my contour done. We are going to move on to blush now while I let this kind of bake. And I'm going to use my tried and true, the NARS Taj Mahal. It's my absolute favorite, especially for looks like this where I don't want it to be too crazy of a blush. I just want something soft. This really goes really well with my skin tone, and I think it's going to really complement the orange tone in my eyes. And for the blush brush, I'm using the Luxie 415 blush brush. Looks like that. So that is my blush done. I'm going to go ahead and actually wipe off this bake, and I'm just going to use that same brush I've been using this whole time, and it is the Crown brush. There's no number or anything on it, and I'm just going to wipe away the bake that we have down here. Okay, and then just to bring back a little bit of luminosity to my skin and to bring out its natural coloring, I'm going to go in with a e.l.f. Baked bronzer. This is in the color Maui. It just looks like that. It's really beautiful. I don't know if you can see the sheen that's kind of coming off of that, but I'm going to use that all over my face just to help everything kind of meld in before I do my highlight. And I'm going to be using a Real Techniques blush brush to apply that. Next for my highlight, you guys already know the deal. I like a nice bright white highlight, so I'm going to go in with my Champagne Pop and then apply a little bit of Pearl to the highest planes of my face. So I'm going to be using two different brushes here, and I'm going to use the Morphe, I think it's the E8, yep, so the E8 brush, and I'm going to use a Luxie brush, and this is the Tapered Highlight Brush 522. So I'm going to go in first with my E8 brush, and I'm going to stamp the highlight where I want it to be. And it always looks super crazy at first, but I promise guys, after blending, it looks absolutely perfect. A little bit on the tip of my nose, Cupid's bow, a little bit on the bridge of my nose here. And then whatever's kind of left over on the brush, I will use to stamp onto my temples. Now I'm going to take the Luxie brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend that slightly. Okay. And then I'm going to spray my face with my setting spray. I'm going to be using two different ones today. I'm going to go in with my favorite, the Tatcha Lumis Dewy Mist. And as you can tell, I'm still on this bottle. I keep forgetting to buy one at Sephora, so I promise I will have a new one soon. But let's see if we can get anything out of this bad boy. Just gonna close my eyes. And as you can see, it kind of left dots all over the place, so I'm going to actually go in with the butt of my Beauty Blender, and I'm just going to press that into the skin. Okay, and that really just brought the skin back to life. It was looking a little bit powdery earlier, but that definitely gave me back my dewy glow that I love. So after that, I'm going to go in with the same E8 brush, and I'm going to go back into that champagne pop, and I'm just going to apply some here to the high planes. And then I'll go in with my second setting spray, and this is the Mario Badescu Rose Water. And then I will go in with my tapered Luxie brush again, and we're going to dip into Pearl this time. And you definitely want to do this as it's drying, because it's really just going to help the highlight grab onto the skin. And then this Pearl color, I am going to avoid the tip of the nose just because it's already looking hella shiny, and I'm going to avoid the temples. But as you can see, everything's really starting to come together. I'm going to go back into that brush that I used for the all over powder, and I'm just going to blend everything. And then I'm going to go in with my beauty blender, apply a little bit of powder of that, and then just add it to the places of my face where I tend to get a little bit more oily. So that's going to be right in here, right above the lip, not where I put the highlight, but just right here. And then just at the tip, I'm going to apply a little bit underneath the eyes, closer to the center of my face. And then just a tiny bit here, right in between the brows and the center of my forehead, with whatever's kind of left over on the beauty blender. Okay, everything's really coming together. I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off. And I did get a little bit of powder on my lower lashes, so I'm just going to go back in with my mascara, and I'm just going to top off the tips there, just to bring those back to life. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and finish her off. We are going to do lips now. As you can see, everything's looking beautiful. I'm so excited. I really loved this look the other night. It lasted the whole night, and I just looked absolutely fabulous. I'm going to go in with a Marc Jacobs Liquid Lip Cream. These are newer. I'm going to use the color Hot Cocoa. This literally is the perfect nude color for women of color, people of color. Absolutely phenomenal. So obsessed. It goes so well with my blush. Ah, can you see just how absolutely gorgeous that is? I definitely am obsessed with this. I'm going to get a few more colors because there were a couple colors that I was interested in, but I didn't want to buy a bunch if I wasn't gonna like the formula. So as you can see, it is drying down, but it doesn't really dry down completely. It still has this beautiful creamy texture, so it isn't fully dry. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of the Jouer lip topper, and this is in the color Tan Lines. Just gonna apply a tiny bit to the center of my lip here. Okay guys, so I'm actually going to go and change and kind of switch my shirt and then fix my hair a bit, and I'll be right back. Okay my lovelies, so this is the finished look. I went ahead and changed my shirt, added a little bit of jewelry, my favorite studs as you know. I have been living for a top knot, so I did a top knot. I think the only thing that I added off camera was a little bit more of the Diamond Dust glitter on the lower lashes here. So yeah guys, that is the finished look for today. I hope you guys really enjoyed my birthday makeup. I'm 24 years old and I feel like the years are just passing me by. I know I'm still a youngin', but it really does feel like I'm getting old. But yeah guys, that is going to do it for me today. My name is Roima, for those of you that don't know. Again, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. Join the family, it is ever growing. And I want to say thank you to my new subscribers. Seriously, I appreciate that you guys have been subscribing. I am definitely finding my groove, and I'm trying to bump it up to 2 videos a week instead of just 1. So this is going to be today's video. I seriously am so obsessed with this look. It is so beautiful. I'm so happy I found this lip. If you haven't copped this, make sure you get that. It is the Marc Jacobs, again, Hot Cocoa for my NC45 and deeper skin tone girls. It is absolutely stunning as a nude lip. It's not too nude where it kind of washes you out. It's got hints of pink and peach in there. So I think it's perfect. If you're lighter complexion, I think it's definitely going to look banging on you as well. But seriously, I am obsessed. I'm definitely going to cop more colors. Make sure you rate and comment down below as well. I'd love to know how you guys feel about this look, and I'd love to know if you guys are interested in seeing anything specific in the future. And again, I'm sorry for all the wind and all the background noise. And as usual, gracias por todo el amor que estoy recibiendo. I super duper appreciate it. And until next time guys, I love you.